Sagittarius, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your July shift reading. So we're looking at the shape you are shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. We are using the Golden Tarot today. And before we get into cards, I was feeling into the energy for you for July, and I felt the image of you buttoning yourself up. And I couldn't exactly tell what it was. It was like a real zoomed in image of like putting a button through a buttonhole, and it was definitely on the chest. So I'm like, okay, it kind of felt like you were buttoning yourself up to go to a black tie affair, you know, like buttoning yourself up, preparing yourself, dressing yourself to the nines to do something big or to go somewhere special or to like, you know, level up professionally or have like a very professional appearance, something like that. But it also makes me wonder if there's something about buttoning yourself up or holding something inside. Let's look into it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the cards, asking what is the shape you are shifting out of in July? What is the shape that Sagittarius is shifting out of in the month of July? Okay. Interesting. Shifting out of the King of Cups. Sometimes the King of Cups can be energy of holding back your emotions a bit. Interesting that this particular King of Cups is holding an arrow because Sagittarius is the archer. So there's something interesting in that. Keeping your arrow close to your heart here instead of launching it. Okay, wonder what that's about, Sag. What is the shape Sagittarius is shifting into in the month of July? What are you shifting into then, Sag? You gonna release the arrows or what? There it is. Not likely. High Priestess. Again, keeping the secrets close to the chest, keeping the book of knowledge, the magic. Even the cat has a collar attached to a chain, right? It's like something about keeping it buttoned up, keeping it inside, keeping it a mystery. What are you keeping a mystery? Keeping it in the deep, keeping it in the emotional deep, because we've got the King of Cups and the Priestess. These are incredibly emotional, intuitive, spiritual energies, but there is an energy of holding back, of buttoning up, of keeping it inside. I wonder why. Keeping it in the depths. What does this shift look and feel like for Sagittarius in July? Nine of Pentacles, it flipped and then it like stayed on my thumb. I wasn't sure if it needed to come out. Oh my God, so many things. Queen of Cups, I'm not gonna take this whole stack, but the Queen of Cups is here, which is the earthly embodiment of the Priestess. I think that's probably important. And we have the Eight of Swords sticking out. I'm gonna take it. I wonder. How this goes. Okay. I think you are let me show you what I'm looking at. Look at the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, how they are basically the same figure almost in the same stance, turned in towards the figure in the Eight of Cups, who is leaving the cave, leaving the darkness of the cave in order to go on a journey. The thing about the Eight of Cups is it's connected to the Hermit for me and for a lot of readers, because it's like this journey of deciding to leave something behind, something that you've invested 8 emotional cups into. You know, it's like a strong emotional investment, but it is perhaps keeping you in the dark of the cave, keeping you in the dark, or you are keeping this in the dark. Somebody's being kept in the dark here. Eight of Swords. Blindfolded, unable to see what's going on clearly, unable to move because they can't see clearly. And it's like, I'm feeling this desire to want to take a solo journey, because a lot of people talk about the Eight of Cups as being the moment that the Hermit decides to go on a spiritual solo sojourn up the mountain, to leave behind everything they know and go on a quest, go on a journey, which is like super Sag energy, which would be congruent with the Nine of Coins here, which is this energy of someone really, you know, talking to this bird. It's like she's really listening in on her with her spirit. She's talking to her spirit and being like, what is right for me? It's an energy of independence. It's an energy of being really rooted and connected in with yourself and acting from that place of self-sufficiency and independence, and again, wanting to go solo. Feeling secure enough in yourself to want to go solo. But perhaps you're waiting on it. You're waiting on at least telling other people about this because you can't quite see yet how to go about it. The Eight of Swords talks about needing to open up the mind, I'm pretty sure this has come out for every fire sign now, because the message has been the same. And it's interesting, in this batch of readings in July, this doesn't always happen to me. In fact, it's never happened to this degree where I'm like, almost every earth sign, like all the earth sign readings have the same basic message. All the air signs, all of the fire signs have the same basic message. This is the message for you here, Sag, which is like, just because you can't conceive of the way to go on this journey, to do the thing you want to do, it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you can't see how to do it right now. You can't like conceive of it in your mind. Doesn't mean it's not possible. So I think you're holding on to this, you know, like you're not launching the arrow, you're not launching yourself, because you're waiting on it until you have the knowledge you need, until you see what you need to see, to then let everybody know, okay, I'm going on this journey, or whatever that is. Again, this is the shift. It's not much of a shift, but the shift from the King of Cups into the Priestess, you're essentially shifting from a more earthly energy into a more archetypal energy. So I think you're deepening your spiritual understanding of perhaps your personal, internal, private reasons for doing what you are doing, and wanting to leave something behind in order to go on your own journey. Maybe even like a spiritual journey, or a journey that is going to be very enriching for you, for your soul. Yeah, interesting, Sag. There's something too about like, maybe even leaving behind the worldly possessions or what you have been working for. Leaving the Nine of Coins, which is like something you've built yourself, maybe even like a business or something like that. in order to go on another journey. And it's also interesting how the person in the Eight of Cups is leaving the cave behind. It's like the priest, to me, the priestess dwells in the cave. You know, it's like you're in the dark of the cave. You are in the realm of the priestess, in the subterranean type of spiritual realm. Perhaps you are ready to journey up from the underworld into a more like soaring to spiritual heights or climbing a spiritual mountain type journey rather than the underworld journey. It's like a different quality of a spiritual experience. And I think that's the shift. That's what you're leaving behind, the realm of the priestess. But it's like, first you have to kind of meet her maybe and have a chat about what you have learned while you have been in the cave. Then you can proceed. Something like that. Okay. It's almost like I just got this image of you leaving the cave and meeting the priestess. Ooh, I'm not gonna get it. Meeting the priestess, and she removes, it's like, yes, you have learned what you needed to learn in the underworld, and she removes your blindfold. And now you are ready to journey up the mountain and have, what would an above ground, subterranean, I can't think of the word. You're probably yelling it at me. Good for you. Subterranean, terranean, I don't know. Like an above ground experience, basically. A spiritual journey on the earth plane, up into the heights now. Down, up from the depths, up to the heights. That's what this is about. Okay, Sag, interesting. So this is just scratching the surface of this reading. I'm going to use other cards and other decks now to dive deeper into this energy and see what exactly this is saying for you in July. If you'd like to join me for that extended, click the link in the description box below to follow me over to Patreon. Patreon is an online community I've created for folks who like the way I pull cards and want to dig deeper. If that sounds like you, meet me over there. Read the full description so you know how a patronage works, and then I will send you the extended reading for July. All right, Sag, take care. I wish you all the best. I'll talk to you soon. Understanding of yourself and the ability to now speak to your spirit. Notice how like now you can talk to fish, now, you know, like now you can talk to fish, now you can talk to birds, because you can speak the language of the priestess. You can speak the language of the spirit. And that has reunited you with a part of yourself that was forgotten. You know how people, the Six of Cups talks about childlike energy sometimes. And you know how people say that like kids can see spirits and then they like lose that ability as they age and become more rationally minded. This is the end of the rational mind for you and the return to what your child self was quite in tune with. This is you returning to that child self, returning to that more spiritual language. It's almost like I want to switch the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Coins so that it's more like this. You know, this person is leaving behind the blockage, the mental blockages of the Eight of Swords and moving towards this Nine of Coins where they are able to now speak that spiritual language on the earth plane. And perhaps